In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college basketball games happening on November 18, 2022, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college basketball games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Temple versus Rutgers. The Temple Owls play the Rutgers Scarlet Knights on Friday in the Basketball Hall of Fame showcase at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut. Temple is off to a slow start, losing 2 of its first 3. Temple's only victory came over Villanova 68-64, but the Owls lost to Wagner and Vanderbilt. Rutgers has won each of its first 3 games, defeating Columbia, Sacred Heart, and UMass Lowell. Temple does not have any players listed on its injury report, while Rutgers guard Caleb McConnell is questionable for Friday. Temple is 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 games following an against the spread loss, and 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 neutral site games, while the under is 8-2 in their last 10 games following a loss. Rutgers is 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 Friday games, and 1-3-1 against the spread in their last 5 games following a win, while the under is 6-1 in their last 7 games against a team with a winning percentage below .400. The Rutgers defense will be too much for the Temple Owls offense to score enough points to beat the Scarlet Knights. Rutgers is allowing an average of only 50 points per game. The Scarlet Knights have a suffocating perimeter defense that is holding opponents to an average of 17.2% shooting from behind the 3-point line, and overall Rutgers is holding opponents to an average of 36% shooting. The Scarlet Knights are averaging 4.3 rebounds more per game than opponents and have an excellent rim protector in Clifford Omarui, who is pulling down an average of 10.3 rebounds per game while blocking 2.7 shots per contest. Temple has failed to cover the spread in 5 of the last 6 games played at a neutral site. Rutgers is 2-1 against the spread to start the season, while in contrast, Temple is 1-2 against the spread. Temple is too one-dimensional on offense, with Damian Dunn averaging 29.7 of the team's 76 points per game, and look for Rutgers to make the rest of the Temple team to beat them. So the Rutgers Scarlet Knights to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The Owls' defensive play has been hit or miss so far, but they held Villanova to only 28% shooting from beyond the arc on only 64 points. Rutgers is only shooting 42.8% after 3 games. In addition, the Owls play at a slower pace, ranking 303rd in tempo, while the same applies to the Scarlet Knights, who stand 233rd in DI in adjusted tempo. The Rutgers 3-point defense has been incredible, limiting foes to only 17% shooting from deep. Rutgers has contained its opponents, conceding 65 or fewer points in all 3 games. I expect points to be at a premium in this battle. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Indiana versus Xavier. The Indiana Hoosiers will be going for their first road win when they face the Xavier Musketeers in the Gavitt tip-off games on Friday night. The Hoosiers are coming off a 101-49 win over Bethune-Cookman as 32-point favorites. The Musketeers are coming off a 78-65 win over Fairfield as 20-point favorites. Indiana and Xavier split their 2 meetings. The Hoosiers are 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 road games and 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 games overall. The Musketeers are 5-13 against the spread in their last 18 home games and 8-17 against the spread in their last 25 games overall. The over is 4-1 in Hoosiers' last 5 overall. The over is 6-0 in Musketeers' last 6 overall. The Indiana Hoosiers and the Xavier Musketeers face off on Friday in the Cintas Center for the Gavitt tip-off games. This should turn out to be one of the best matchups between the Big Ten and the Big East this season. Indiana is coming into this game with a 2-0 record after beating Bethune and Morehead State with ease. Mike Woodson got Indiana basketball back to the NCAA tournament in his first season as the head man, and they are looked at as one of the best teams in college basketball this season. Trace Jackson Davis is one of the best players in all of college basketball and will look to lead Indiana to a Big Ten title. I am confident that Indiana will be one of the best teams in the country. but they may be overhyped this season after a mediocre 2021 to 2022 season. Xavier had just 3 departures from last year's squad that won the National Invitation Tournament and finished the season with 23 wins. They were one of the best teams in the country to start the season before collapsing and ultimately missing the NCAA tournament. This Xavier team has 2 big men in Zach Fremantle and Jack Nuns that can slow down Jackson Davis better than most teams in the country. Xavier should be a sleeper team in the Big East under first-year head coach Sean Miller. I think they will surprise some people this season. Their inside presence is good enough to compete with Indiana and take care of business at home. The Indiana Hoosiers are the better, more talented team, but they haven't played anybody through 2 games and now go to a tough venue to play a solid Xavier side. The Xavier Musketeers can score the basketball at a high clip, and their defensive effort hasn't been too shabby either. It's never easy to beat Xavier in Xavier, regardless of what the team looks like. Because of home court, I'll take a shot with home dog. So the Xavier Musketeers to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. This is a great matchup between 2 high-level programs and 2 coaches that are new to their schools. Both Indiana and Xavier come into this matchup with an undefeated record, defeating smaller schools on their home floor. Neither team has had much of a challenge so far this season, so it will be exciting to see who comes out on top. Both teams have played at a fast pace so far this season. According to KenPom, Indiana is 22nd in average possession length and 3rd in both offensive effective field goal percentage and 2-point field goal percentage. Likewise, Xavier is 28th in average offensive possession length and top 15 in effective field percentage and 3-point percentage. These teams have excelled on the offensive end to start the season, and it should continue in this game with the Xavier fans packed into the Cintas Center. The total seems too low here. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Virginia versus Baylor. The number 16 Virginia Cavaliers will face the number 5 Baylor Bears in Las Vegas, Nevada at T-Mobile Arena. Both teams are entering this game undefeated and will be competing to keep their perfect records. Virginia will be entering this game with heavy hearts following a tragic incident involving UVA football players. They canceled their game on Monday. The Bears are coming off a dominating win against Northern Colorado. The Cavaliers are 2-6 against the spread in their last 8 neutral site games and 2-7 against the spread in their last 9 Friday games. The Bears are 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 Friday games and 14-6-1 against the spread in their last 21 neutral site games. The under is 5-0 in Cavaliers' last 5 neutral site games. The over is 4-0 in Bears' last 4 overall. Flagler, Bridges, and George are great offensive weapons for Baylor, especially with Flagler's ability to score from beyond the arc. With these 3, the Bears have a lot of options with how they move the ball around. They can shoot from deep while successfully playing underneath the basket. Virginia also has some weapons, but they aren't as dynamic as Baylor, which will become a huge key to success in this matchup. If Baylor can contain Franklin, then they are going to walk away with this win, and considering he is their best shooter and is making more than 50% of his 3-pointers, I expect Baylor to take care of him. You don't get the Virginia Cavaliers in the underdog spot often, and that's going to be the case again this year. I can understand why some would lean toward the points here. However, the Baylor Bears are absolutely loaded, and they've looked great through 3 games. A case can be made Baylor is the best team in the country. I'm not eager to step in front of this squad, so the Baylor Bears to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. These teams are very competitive on both sides of the ball. The Cavaliers are averaging 81 points per game while surrendering just 51.5 points per game. The Bears are averaging 100 points per game while they surrender 62 points per game. Not only do both of these teams have explosive scoring offenses, but they also have solid defenses. The defenses will keep this a tight game but won't be able to prevent a high-scoring affair. Flagler has been great from deep so far this season for the Bears, and Franklin has been trustworthy from beyond the arc for the Cavaliers. Both of these players are making more than 50% of their 3-pointers this season, which will help add quick points to the board. 2 explosive scoring offenses lead to high-scoring affairs. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.